Welcome and thank you for joining our discussions. We are looking at cubic graphs, and the question we have reads, the equation of a curve is given by the function y is equal to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2. Part A, determine the coordinates of the turning points of a curve correct to one decimal point. We know at the turning point of a curve, the dy over dx is usually equal to 0, and therefore we differentiate this given function and equate it to 0. The general rule of differentiation is like, if we have y being equal to x power n, then dy over dx will be equal to, you bring down n, that will be x, you go and less 1 from the power. So if you differentiate x cubed, it will give us 3x squared, plus you differentiate 4x squared, it will give you 8x, and this one will be equated to 0. We do not differentiate 2 because if we were to differentiate minus 2, we could be having negative 2. This is the same as having negative 2x power 0. You bring down 0 and multiply, then you go and less 1 from the power. This one will give you negative 2x power negative 1, but if you multiply with 0, it will give you a 0, and therefore there is no need of differentiating that anyway. Having done that, we can now factor the common term in 3x squared plus 8x, which is x, into 3x plus 8 and equate this to 0. At this point now we can say the first value of x will be equal to 0. That is done by equating this x that is outside to 0. And again, you can take the bracket, which is 3x plus 8, you equate it again to 0, such that 3x will be equal to negative 8. Divide by 3 on both sides, x will be equal to negative 8 over 3, which is the same as negative 2.7, correct to one decimal point. Once we have done that, we can now get the values of y. When x is 0, the value of y is going to be, we can now come and use it here, y will be equal to x cubed. X is 0 cubed plus 4 times x, which is 0 squared minus 2. The value of y will be negative 2. And when x is negative 2.7, then the value of y, you bring y and insert it in the brackets, it is going to give us 7.5, and therefore the points of intersection will be equal to 0, negative 2, and negative 2.7 and 7.5. After we have gotten the coordinates of the turning points, we can now go to part B. Part B, use the equation of the function to complete the table. Remember, since we have been given the table between negative, the values of x between negative 1 and positive 1, we can use them to fill the table. We are going to have negative 4, negative 3, then we are going to have negative 2, then negative 1, then 0. After that, we are going to have 1. We are going to use the values of x to get the values of y. When you put the value of x, which is negative 4, back into this equation, the value of y is going to be negative 2. And when x is negative 3, you can substitute negative 3 in this equation to get the value of y as positive 7. When x is negative 2, again you substitute, you get 6. When it is negative 1, y will be positive 1. When it is 0, y will be negative 2. And finally, when it is positive 1, y will be positive 3. Once we have our table filled, we can proceed and use the values of x and y to draw our curve. We have the highest value of y being -2 and the value of y being 7, and because of the turning point we are going to have positive 7.5, and therefore we might decide to start from this point here where we are going to put our origin 0, then upwards we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we are going to have 7, and lastly 8. From there again going down we are going to have -1, -2. Then on the x-axis we are going to use 1 centimeter to represent 1 unit. Then we are going to have -1, -2, -3, up to around -4. We can go up to -5, meaning if we can quote our scale on the x-axis, 1 centimeter represents 1 unit, and on the y-axis 1 centimeter represents 1 unit again. Having done that, now we can go and start our plotting exercise. When the value of x is -4, the value of y is -2, -4, -2 is here, and when x is -3, it is +7, +7 is here. When the value of x is -2, it is +6, -2, it is +6 here, and when it is -1, it is +1, -1 is +1 at this point here, and when it is 0, when x is 0, this one is -2 at this point here, and when it is +1, y is +3 at this particular point here. Having done that, now we can go and join all the points, but before we join all our points, we must also make sure that we plot the turning points of the curve. Remember, the turning point of the first curve is at 0, -2, which is already indicated at this point, and the other turning point is -2.77.5. -2.7 is around here, 7.5 is going to be around this point here. That is going to be our turning point, and from here now we can join all our points as follows. We join our curve as follows. We have to draw a smooth one here. After plotting our points like this, you come and label your curve. Let us try to make this point look correct. Now we can label our curve as y being equal to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2 for a student to score. And after that, remember you are supposed to use your graph to solve x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2 is equal to 0. And this is the same function that we have really used here. So as part of the solution, we can take the main function as y being equal to x cubed, that is plus 2x squared, plus 4x squared, sorry, minus 2, and then use it to work out this other equation, which is x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2. When you subtract this to y minus 0 will give you y, being equal to 3x minus, that is x cubed minus x cubed will give you a 0. 4x squared plus minus 4x squared will give us a 0. Minus 2 minus minus 2 will also give us a 0. That means the value of y is going to be 0. In this case, we know the value of y being 0 is along x-axis. So we need to pick the values of x where the curve intersects with the x-axis. Remember, these are the cubic graphs. And in this case, the first value of x is going to be at this point here, where x is -4. The other value of x is going to be here, where x is -1. Because we are supposed to draw a broken line downwards to show how we have picked this particular point here. So x is going to be -1. And at this point here, no, this is wrong. So we pick the value of x from this point here, and this one is going to be -0.9. We look at where that line cuts the y-axis, the x-axis, sorry. Remember, this is the x-axis. And the other value of x will be at this particular point here. And in this case, it is going to be around 0.8. That is 0.2, this is 0.6, positive 0.6. These are the three values of x at the point where the curve intersects with the x-axis. Thank you for watching and welcome to our discussions. And in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that anytime we publish a video like this, you will automatically be given a notification. Thank you and welcome.